I'm on the internet, live on the internet. What a glorious feeling, it's Jupiter at night.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Jupiter at Night. My name is Chris.
My name is Jeremy.
Hey there, J-Man.
Hey there,
Yesterday,
Chris.
we had an epic snow episode.
We did, and I missed it.
I know, but you were able to join us for the epic rain episode, so that's not so
Yeah,
bad.
lucky me.
What?
I prefer snow, okay?
Oh, okay, well, I know.
Rain's kind of wet.
I think, to be honest with you, a lot of our viewers prefer the snow as well. I know a lot of folks out there that are in Australia, and there's actually Brazil. There's a lot of other areas that are experiencing floods as well right now, and we thought we'd do a shout-out episode to you, and then tomorrow's episode will be all about epic wind. Probably.
Really?
Well, we'll see.
Wind, huh?
Wind.
I'm just going to let that one go right by with no jokes made about epic wind.
I want to start with a video that was sent in to my wife. One of her friends pointed to this. Now, this has been a pretty popular video on YouTube, and this is a great video that sets the stage. Now,
I wish we got 4 million views for just rain. Jeez.
I know. Now, for the audio audience, picture a nice work parking lot, and there's a river, a few hundred feet in front of your car.
Over a little embankment. It's kind of
nice little recessed river, completely now just been blown apart. Just water's now spilling into the parking lot, and within a few seconds, the cars actually begin to get pulled away.
Awesome.
This is the kind of rain that just happens within a few seconds.
Yeah. I've actually got, let me pull up that other video here, because apparently flash flooding was a very big concern when this started coming down. Now, the whole thing that's going on in Australia was kind of caused by, rain.
Yeah.
It rained too much,
like
too
epic
quickly.
rain downpouring, yeah.
Apparently Australia has pretty thick, heavy soil that doesn't soak in as much rain as
Those
quickly as it
Aussies
needs
have
to.
thick soil, huh, Jamie?
Yeah.
Thick
So
soil.
they got like 2 feet in 2 days of rain.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, we get 150 inches a year here in Seattle, and Seattle's supposed to be known for our crazy snow. Our crazy rain.
Right.
Like, we're supposed to be the rainy city, but
That's over the course of a year, though.
Now check-
These guys got 2 feet.
if you're watching the video version, check this video out as this river just all of us, which was not a river before.
That was like a creek.
Just became a river as it just completely overcomes this road. And if you look at the contents of the water, it's trees,
Picking up trees, yeah.
stumps,
Grass.
and it's just
There's
earth.
probably cows in
Apparently
there.
they're thick soil.
Yeah.
I didn't know about thick soil, but
It's not as absorbent. If we up here got 2 feet of rain in 2 days, we wouldn't have sudden flash floods and cars floating away.
right.
We might have some spillage and flooded farmlands and things like
and
that.
trees that are seeping down and all that kind of stuff.
But it wouldn't be a major national disaster. I mean, for Australia, this is like one of the worst natural disasters they've ever seen, in the history of the country.
It seems really destructive.
It's here. I've got some estimates on the damages and everything for Australia. Yeah,
Huh.
about 30 people dead, and the damages are estimated around $40 billion. Now you've got another satellite photo, don't you, of it like overtaking a city?
Oh wow! Check this out. This is a little sad. If there's a photo here and you realize that everywhere that's brown is water, and then
But it used to be land.
it used to be, and you can see like the outlines of roads and little city spots.
Yeah.
I mean, if you looked at a pie chart, it almost looked like Pac-Man, where just the city was left and the rest is all water.
Yeah.
It's just been destroyed. So
And amazingly enough, not one of the worst floods we've seen in recent history.
really,
Bad.
Bad?
No doubt bad.
we've been through worse.
Well, the ones going on in Brazil right now have taken over 700 lives compared to 30
Right.
in Australia. Now, most of that has been caused by... I'm sorry, your hats don't fit me, Chris. I gotta
but
lose
it's
it.
hat day,
I know,
J-Man.
but it's not really raining in here. So
we should say it's Hat Day because it's our 80th episode too.
It is.
80th episode.
So
Jupiter
congratulations
Nights.
to us.
What's up?
My hat is off to you, Jupiter at night. Ha. But yeah, most of the Brazilian stuff is being caused by mudslides.
Oh.
I mean,
taking
Australia
homes
is
and
just
stuff?
flat, so the rain just builds up and becomes flash floods. But down in Brazil, they just have mountains crumbling everywhere.
Here in Washington, we've had a few mudslide events where that was all over the news. You just see these nice mansions, they call them, just sliding down these hillsides.
Well, dumbasses.
I know.
Some of the nicest houses in Seattle are built right on the edge of hills.
And Seattle does, have some rain.
Yeah. It's been known to happen. Now, we were looking this up before the show, though. We're like ranked 140th or something?
No, it's 44th.
Oh, it's 44th.
44th.
My bad.
In the United States for average rainfall.
And yet everybody calls us the rain capital.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of places beat us out, including Memphis, and I think even New York beat us out.
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, that kind of...
I know that like Southern California, several places in Southern California are supposed to, but they get it in like these big torrential, like 3-day events, and we get it 340 days of the year in little tiny bursts.
I've had a couple of... oh, man. You know what? I should have grabbed it. I had somebody send me a Dropbox photo of a little camcorder video he took. Not a photo, but a video he took of flooding of his backyard.
Yeah.
Like, here was my backyard.
It was only like 2 years ago or last year maybe, where like the whole river valley flooded out, and there were people stranded in their homes that couldn't get out because not only does it flood, but the rivers keep running. You know, when a flood happens, rivers don't stop because they're too big. They just keep running bigger.
Yeah.
So
have you ever been out of your house?
Not personally.
Oh, good.
So I'm kind of thankful for that. But, you know, when I was growing up, we lived right basically on a hill that overlooked the Snohomish River Valley.
Yeah.
And every year when they would have their floods, it just looked like a gigantic lake that spread from the hill I grew up on to the mountains down the way.
You know, going through and looking at all these different, and the same with our flooding we have here, going through looking at all these different stories, almost all of them are caused just by sudden rain, by surprise rain. It seems like with the technology we have, with the crazy amount of weather tracking we have, how do you ever have surprise rain or how do you not plan for it? But I guess once it's just water. Once you have that water, there's nothing you can do with it.
Well, actually, that was one of the things that came up, you know, the Nashville floods that happened last year in 2010. The National Weather Service admitted that they were just understaffed. They actually knew with enough time that they probably could have at least gotten some of those people to safety a little ahead of time. But they were understaffed. So
they say.
So that's the claim.
Yeah, they don't have a Twitter account? Just saying, you start somewhere. Yeah, I realize not everyone has Twitter, but at least some people, you start there, maybe they can spread the word.
National Weather Service says, oh my God, rain.
Now, here in Washington State, there is a nice little town called Snohomish.
Yeah.
And Snohomish is known for floods.
Yes.
And, you know...
Lucky them.
Funny enough, actually, I used to work in a place called Dream Dinners down there in downtown Snohomish. And they have this historic street, and the basement of this historic street, if you went to just the far end of the wall, walked right up to the wall where it would be underground, there was a door. And if you open this door, there was an underground Snohomish. And there was parts of a Snohomish built over just like underground Seattle. That they built over because it would flood so often. They realized, oh, wait a minute, we're going to flood all the time.
Every year. Yeah. Well, I was just saying, like practically every year, the Snohomish River Valley floods.
They built up on top of that again. So they built up, just like in Seattle. When I was working there, we still had flooding. And
above the basement, like on the ground floor?
Yeah.
Wow.
And a place that my mom was renting nearby was built with this massive cement base, almost a whole... Well, it was at least a story of cement just to put the house up. So that way when it flooded, that was just at water level. Mm-hmm. The house was at water level when it flooded. Why would you live in that area? But, you know, there's limited housing spaces.
Speaking of why would you live in that area, you know, part of the reason that most people watching this probably remember Hurricane Katrina and the flooding that happened as a result of that.
Yeah.
You know, 90% or something of New Orleans is under sea level.
Yeah.
In an area that's known for high winds and storms and all this.
Just like my mom's place was, yeah.
I mean, I really don't want to say anything too bad about that whole event that happened because, you know, bad. That was easily, I think I've got Wikipedia says that it was the worst natural disaster in U.S. history.
$81 billion in damages, 1,800 dead.
Yeah. But like it's estimated that about half of those deaths and damages were caused by the failing of the levees and the filling in. Basically, New Orleans filled in because it shouldn't be land.
It's underwater.
Right. So why did we build there to begin with?
Why did we do that all over the place?
I mean, New Orleans was founded like back in 1800s, 1700s, who knows when. But why did they do it underwater? Why'd they build a city underwater?
Because it's awesome.
Well, you know, if you had a dome and stuff, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Really.
So maybe that was just step one.
They were going to keep building the levees higher.
Put a hole in the ground. Step two, put a dome on that ground. Yeah. Now I was trying to think if I had any other flooding personal experiences. I've always been fortunate enough to live in areas that were up high enough. But being in Washington State, I've had to drive through a lot of areas that are flooded.
Oh, and when I lived in Texas, we had some flash flood warnings and stuff. And one day I couldn't get to work because the road was flooded over.
I've had to do the whole, do I want to try driving the truck through that?
Right.
Oh, I don't know how deep it is, but there we go. I've had to do that.
I remember what the road looked like yesterday. It doesn't look too deep.
That's never to get to work either. That's always to get home.
Yeah.
I'm never going to screw it. I'm not doing that for
at work.
No way. That's like the snow too. When you work in Snohomish, that was the other thing is, around here, a lot of people bail when it starts to snow, when it's going to snow. And that was the other thing when it's going to when they think the river is going to crest, everybody starts to bail.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else we should cover in tonight's epic rain episode?
I touched on the Tennessee floods real quick. I'd like to end the episode on kind of an uplifting note.
Do it for me, J-Man.
Tennessee is home to Nashville and Jacksonville and all those big music cities. That they've got a great community of musicians around there.
Well,
yeah, sure.
Musicians?
Yeah. Anyway, since those floods happened in May of 2010, I wasn't able to find any total estimates, but just by doing my own internet stalking and adding up numbers, it looks like they've raised somewhere between like $80 and $100 million for flood relief in Tennessee. Awesome. Just musicians holding concerts and donating concert
and that's not even with good music.
Like God damn it. It's supposed to be an uplifting ending, you jerk.
All right, so we've decided we wanted to extend an offer to everyone. Now, you can tune in live every single night over at jupiterbroadcasting.com/live, at least Tuesday through Thursday at 8 p.m., but there's almost something going on every single night. But we know not all of you can tune in live, right, J-Man?
Right. We know that because you tell us.
Yeah, you mention it just about every time we give you a hard time. Yeah. So we've decided to make an email address for you. You can email us NITE, N-I-T-E, at jupiterbroadcasting.com.
We should have a lower third next time we mention that.
So we don't
I know it's kind of
I know. So.
Then we got to do it live, and then we got to try to find it fancy.
And I'll have a button for it, but then I'll push something like this button when I meant to push this button, and then I'll accidentally push that button, and then it won't have it happen at all, so why bother?
I blame the hat. We could have a big sign that we just lift
there
up.
You go. Just something we just fold up and then fold it back down. Dude.
High tech, right?
Why not? And we could just put like a little rope on it, so we just be like, yank. That'd be awesome.
So NITE at jupiterbroadcasting.com.
Yeah.
You can mail in comments, or like last night, we had a user-submitted intro. That's where you can send them if you can't get in touch with us elsewise.
Which is definitely the epic. Yep, you can always leave us a voicemail. You can Skype us at Jupiter Broadcasting, or just go over to jupiterbroadcasting.com/ or just go to Jupiter Broadcasting. You'll find the contact us link. Because we want to hear from you. We want to start working more of your feedback into the show. We're 80 episodes in, and one of the very beginning concepts before we ever went on the air was a high level of audience participation, just because we think you guys are cool and we want to hear what you're doing.
That's why we do the whole thing live.
Yeah, really.
Otherwise, we would put some work into this show.
Otherwise, we would have comfier chairs.
That's for dang
these
sure.
Lights wouldn't be on. All right, everyone. Well, thanks so much for watching tonight's episode of Jupiter Night. Now, be sure to tune in tomorrow night. My buddy John, longtime JB fans will remember John. He'll be joining us. I think Alan's going to be here. You're out.
I'm out because I have a concert of apparently bad music on Friday.
When you do it, it's good.
Sure.
How about just the guys that are all corporate about it?
All right.
All right.
We'll do that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
we'll sellouts.
Yeah. Jerk switch. But join us tomorrow because we're talking about all about epic wind, and that should be a lot of fun. So until then, everyone, have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow night.